Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Might go ahead. Yeah, let us know if you can hear us and see my screen. Let's see here. Y'all see that? Should be able to see the black box screen. Should be able to hear us okay, hopefully.
Christopher says yes. Neo Trader says he can hear us and see us. Thank you, guys. Also,
Sweet.
just a little reminder: if you're on GoToWebinar mobile, for some reason there's some kind of issue with GoToWebinar mobile, so our sound may cut in and out, but it's still like you can still listen. It should be it's still fine. It's a little bit annoying, but you'll get used to it eventually. Um, so yes, if you're on mobile, you may have a little bit of a hard time with the audio portion, but it will get better throughout the webinar.
Nice. So when you sign on in the mornings, this is what you come up to. Or this is black box right here. These are pre-market alerts. The red are actually rapid decline alerts. So that's something that's picking out as a potential possible short. These blue are just volume active alerts, and this yellow here means it's done something in the last couple of days. So it's looking to see if it can continue. And one of the things that I get a lot of questions about is the news filters and how to use those upgrades and downgrades. We're going to let Mario go ahead and knock that out for us. And also, we appreciate everybody showing up today early. We appreciate that.
Okay, so let me get my black box pulled up. Just like Charlie said, when you first log in, this is what you see. Over on the right-hand side, you'll see that it'll automatically bring you to the main chat section. And underneath this section are all these little buttons. This, in the bottom right-hand corner, the third button from the right, if you click on that, it's going to bring you to the news stream. Let me get this cord closed because the notifications are going to drive me crazy. Um, Once you're in your news stream, what you're looking at is a live streaming feed of all market related headlines. So what I like to do first thing in the morning is I go through and I kind of read through to see if there's any overall theme going on from the market, like going on in the market. So we're kind of starting from a broader view and then I narrow it down. The next thing I like to do is I will click on ratings. And now what I'm looking at are articles that are related to any analyst action. So right here we are at Deutsche Bank. We've got Facebook price target raised to 280 from 270. And what I really love is the fact that the article will give the commentary from the analyst. So it says the analyst is bullish on Facebook shares for 2020, recently making it his top mega cap idea. The resurgence in core Facebook app performance flagged last quarter is set to continue into 2020 and can help drive sales and multiple expansions as investors gain comfort in the durability of the core Blue app. So when I'm reading through this, it can kind of give me an idea as to how much weight I can give that analyst action. And then, once I've picked out the upgrades, downgrades, price target changes that I like, I go through and I review the charts. So that's what I do first thing in the morning. Now, during the day, what I like to do is I will I'm going to unclick ratings. So again, when I unclick ratings, I'm back to the main feed where nothing is filtered. I'll click on options news and you will see that there are a bunch of activities related just to options. During the day, you'll see stuff that'll say, XYZ call volume is above normal and directionally bullish, or, above normal and directionally bearish. So I keep an eye on that as well. And on one screen, what I do is I unselect both. So again, not filtered at all. And then I can keep an eye on all the headlines that come through. And then on another screen, what I do is I click on ratings and options news so that all I'm looking at in that feed are ratings and options news throughout the day. So it kind of gives me a more filtered view or a narrowed down view of everything that's going on. So that's how I use the news. Charlie, you want me to send this back over to you for right now?
Yeah, go ahead and send it over.
There you go.
So one of the things we want to go over real quick, and actually before I do that, Maria, is there any questions we need to hit real quick?
No, not yet.
So right here is a pre-market scanner. We get asked a lot, this is up 99%. Why is it not showing up here? Let me go ahead and show y'all something called a retracement alert. Actually, let's go to Twitter notifications. Let me go search BlackBox. Show y'all why we do not alert things over. Here you go. See this right here? This was up real big one morning, last Thursday or Friday. I think Thursday. You see this retracement alert and what that means. So anything that's up over 65%, we do not alert because most of those gaps do not hold. Most 65% gaps do not hold. Now you're going to have that one in, 10 or 15 that do. But for the most part, you can see that retracement alert, which is pretty rare actually, caught almost within a couple cents. The rest was history. So we do not alert anything over 65%. So how I use this in the mornings, I do like to see what, caused this. So I'm going to go look at RTIX. Go to the news. So this looks like they had ER. So RTI surgical 307 to 308 million, consensus 306. So this is what that is. This is an ER play. So we can also go look at volume ratio. Does this thing trade very much? So right here, TRXC is traded 5 times its average 10-day volume. Since this is 3 million shares, it trades about 600,000 a day, a little less, 580, 570. So TRXC, we can go ahead and say, okay, what's going on with TRXC? Go ahead and pull that chart up. Again, we can go pull up news. And they've did a 510 submission to the FDA. So things like this, so I can constantly, from this pre-market scanner, I'm constantly going and saying, okay, what's the volume ratio? What's the news? Anything in chat? Hey, what is StockTwits saying about TRXC? Besides just going to the moon, So that's how we use it. We call this a right-click system. Now, this after-hour scanner, post-market scanner, is the only one I know of in the world that as soon as the bell rings, it starts the volume at 0. So if Microsoft releases ER tonight and it traded 23 million shares during the day, it's going to start over and it'll show you 1,369,000 shares, right? And every buy, sell, just boom, 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 live volume. So used to back in the day, I'd have to go to the NASDAQ website and get a delayed 15-minute quote, have to keep doing math like, it's done this after hours because it's cumulative volume. This right here is just strictly after hours volume. This one, when the market opens, is going to show you the top 25 or 30 up, same amount down. Occasionally, we'll see some things over here, I might miss or the system might miss. The alert stream, a lot of questions on the alert stream. This thing is showing you all kinds of information, and it's one of my favorite things. I love the alert stream. One of the most underused things we have. So I can see it here and look at 52-week highs and lows, stuff like that. I can also filter this out and go, okay, I just want stock halts and dark pool data. Boom. Now I'm just going to get NH stock is halted. Let's go look at that. Don't know why it's halted. News pending, it says. But I also have my dark pool. So that's a couple of things that we use, that scanner for right there, or filter, we should say. I also like price spikes. Another thing you can do as well, I like to do stocks over 50, so I can, automatically go ahead and get that going. And maybe even stocks over 100. Let's see if we got any of those. We only got one of those right now. So this will only alert me to stocks over $100 if that's what I want. Or I can go back to all stocks. And Maria, you got anything you want to add before we get started?
Not as far as the system is concerned. What are we watching this morning? That's going to be everyone's question. I've got a couple things that I really want to keep an eye on first thing. 5 from yesterday. We did play that in the room and did well with it. Wish I had swung it, but I didn't. So definitely want to keep an eye on that. Apple got a downgrade, and then also, well, they upped the price target, Atlantic Equities, but they downgraded the stock. And I think they had another price target increase. Tesla, of course, is on everyone's watch list. But I mean, it's at 550. We're almost 550. What do you do with it up here? Netflix, definitely. We want to keep an eye on the banks because of ER. DAL could be a good one. SDC. And actually, let me pull this back over to me so I can, um, let's go over this SDC because I think that that could be a good one. So if I want to search for news, I know Charlie probably just did it too. Right now I'm on the stock side of the system. It says New York NASD / New York Stock Exchange, and I have mine set to all stocks. I can underneath the volatility indicator, if I type in SDC like I did and hit enter, over here on the right hand side, my news feed, I'm still in that news tab. My news feed is going to filter to news specific only to SDC. So it makes it super quick and easy for me to look through and see what's going on with the ticker. And it looks like we do have some news this morning. The clear aligners are now available at dentist and orthodontist offices. They plan to offer clear aligners through a wholesale channel. Oh, that's actually kind of interesting. Okay, okay. And then, so this is one I definitely want to take a look at. And you can see here, the chart also loads simultaneously once I've typed that ticker in. We did alert it. It's slightly above that alert price, and SDC does have some room, even though it's a newer IPO, but they've been trading probably over the counter for a while. So if we look over here in the bottom left of my screen, I want to look at a 1-year chart and see what's going on. We've got this orange line is the 89 EMA. It's at 1125 right now. And where are we? We're at 1148. Ideally, I'd like to see even underneath that 89 for a potential entry. But if there's momentum right there at the open, we can always try to play it. So let me send this back over to Charlie so we can do the opening sweeps. Those are just a couple of the names that I'm going to keep an eye on and see what we come up with.
All right. Can you see mine?
Yeah,
Maria,
I
is there
see
any
it.
questions? Any questions before we get started with the opening?
Lilia needs help setting up Twitter alerts. Lilia, if you could send me a DM in Discord, we will do that offline.
But click the little bell. There's a little bell up there.
Yeah, there's a little bell.
That sends them to you. So we do have two private Twitters. We have one for the algo alerts and one for the mon alerts. And people ask, why are those separate? And that's what the members voted for. They just wanted two separate feeds for that. You know, they wanted one for the algos and one for the mods. So we did that for them. And the options flow, as soon as the market opens and options flow starts going through, if Maria buys $1 million worth of Netflix, I'm going to see it on this screen by the time it lands in her account. It's that fast. There is no delay. If the exchange is sending it back to her TD account, it's also going across, our scanners as a buy as well. So if she's looking to see if she got filled, we know that she got filled at the same time. So that's just one of the super cool things about options flow. I've been doing this for 22 years, and this is by far the best indicator I've ever used. Best tool I've ever used. This does have several filters. We will go over these here shortly.
And we're open. Baidu first above the ask sweep. 145 for the
anything. Oh, all options. Sorry. So I have them on Netflix. I am going to go ahead and remove puts right quick. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Baidu, they signed the China thing. It could be interesting.
So kind of like those 110s on 5, but I've got to give it a candle or two. That one can be funny acting. Small direct clubs high a day at over 12 right now.
That's one we had kind of liked pre-market. This Baidu is, we like to track the first above the ask of the day. So far, it's actually
Baidu could be actually really, really interesting.
good pull-ups.
So I did pick up a couple of this week's 1250 calls on SDC. Super small position. I paid 41 cents for those, and I'm going to put a stop in at 31 cents, 10 cent stop.
Goldman Sachs, this is the ER play. They have ER tomorrow, so somebody's betting on a move there after February above the ask opening sweep. I tend to ignore those when they're like that, when they're ER plays.
JP Morgan is opening up nicely. They did pull back pre-market after that initial spike. I like that retrace. So I would like to see some flow come in there.
Beyond just ripping.
Of course it is.
But some really good flow in Beyond yesterday. Really incredible flow yesterday. Yesterday, options flow was just sick.
So, hold on. What do you think about some JPM?
Let me pull that up. A couple of MUs up to March. They're kind of interesting too. A total of about 750 grand above the ask on part of it. Same buyer, so they hit it pretty hard. JPM, let's see.
Some seven or some what is this? Some 140s.
145.
I just filled
145s
that.
are coming in a little bit.
I just bought 140s for this week for 74 cents.
So you're in JPM, and what was the other thing you got in?
Some SDC. I don't like they've got those it's got that 5 cent bid thing or spread thing where
This
it goes up.
JPM, the 145s are really coming in here pretty hard, and they started at 8 cents, 9 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents. So the OI, and these are going from white to purple. The white tells us OI wasn't met, hasn't been met yet. And when it turns purple, it tells us OI has been met. And they're still buying. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to 145. I'm just showing this is something she likes. She bought 140s, and it's here comes some more. Now it's at 17 cents. JPM. So this is one of the ways we use options flow, right? So we can tell that here they bought everything available, and then boom, 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 they just keep exceeding it, and there it goes again. Now it's at 21 cents. So we started watching this here at 15. Now it's at 21. I didn't get in, unfortunately. But when she talks about it, I can pull it up and see that other people are looking at these 145s. So that's interesting. Hit 141 here. Go back to all options. So yeah, JPM, I'm definitely keeping an eye on.
Probably gonna get stopped out at the
There's another one. Roulette bullish VG. Now let's go over what a roulette bullish means. Roulette bullish is going to be something that expires that current calendar week. So as you can see, expiration 1/17. So this Friday. It has to exceed open interest, so it has to be yellow, and it has to be over $40,000. Not that I need to give that criteria out to the haters that'll knock it off, but go ahead. It's not that hard to figure out anyway. So any opening sweep above the ask in a current week that expires that week. If this was 39,000, it wouldn't have came in. Yesterday we killed 5 below. They were buying the 100s on 5. Same kind of alert. Historical. See this yesterday, the 100s? They just pounded those 100s. So that's what we followed yesterday. So that's the kind of alert that you're looking at right there on VG. And actually, when you go look at that VG, it doesn't have that much juice. It's 80 cents. They're buying in the money. Spot price was $7.75, so it's 5 cents juice on that contract. So if this, as this goes up 20 cents, this contract will probably go up 20 cents. This goes down 20 cents, probably the same. So it looks like it's kind of a no juice contract. They are still buying the JPM.
Roughly 65, 67% or so. I'm maybe taking some of that off here in just a second. See what happens.
I haven't bought anything yet. Good job. I have not. But I tell you what, this JPM, they keep buying this 145s for this week. Again, I'm not saying it's going to 145. I like to get in and out of this stuff. So, if you can get in right and out right, that's all that matters.
DAO has not done their conference call yet, right? No, I'll double check that. Sorry.
Here comes some more right here. Look at this, 145s, 27 cents now. We're just looking at this at 21. I can't do it now. I can't chase it up here. I wish I would have went ahead and got it down here in this 17 to 20 range, but bearish on Tesla. So let's go ahead and look at that. I don't have on puts, but that's easy enough to fix. Roulette bearish is going to be just the opposite of a roulette bullish. As you can see right here, they're buying the $535 puts above the ask, $166,000. Good luck to them. It's something I'm not interested in personally. Not that it won't work.
The other one I like a lot is Delta. I really like Delta, but just looking at like a yearly chart, we're going to run into a little bit of congestion, and we've got a 52-week high of 63.44. Is that their all-time?
Look at this. Now this JPM's going for 30 cents. Oh my God. I could have had 100% here. I mean, we literally was talking about this going from white to purple right here. I could have had 100% and I didn't play it. It was the first thing that caught my eye. They're still buying it. 32 cents.
If you bought the 140s, you're up over 100%. Don't be scared to take some profit.
Good job on that, Mario. Great job. Good live call. This is what we do all day. Mainly her. Not me. She gets way more.
You have some killer calls.
Look at this, though. Look at this. We started looking at it down here in this 15 range. It's at 32. But that's how we use options for. It doesn't all work like that. I want you to know that going from white to purple doesn't mean you're going up 100%. But they had ER this morning, so we already knew that it was, some potential there. So when they kept buying out of the money and they just keep on, we call it just relentless Mike Tyson buying, which is boom, 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 boom. They can't buy enough. We usually follow that flow. It's a little bit too far out of the money for me, so I could have grabbed some 141s or 2s or something, and even played the 145s. So okay. But
I'm out of half at $1.75. I'm out of half at $1.75.
Nice work. All right, so I'm seeing some COF here coming through. So see, this is things that, again, same scenario. OI wasn't met. Now OI's met. We know that because it went from white to purple. Not seeing a lot of size here though. 21,000. 46, 65,000, 66,000. Now, the stock price is going up, so these contracts are going up, and you can see these contracts are going in the right direction.
And Charlie,
So
I
that's
did get
something.
stopped out of the SDC. It's a small loss there. So I'm out of SDC at 29 cents. I probably should have given it a couple more pennies. That's all right.
This WDC chart. Couple blocks on that. That COF's kind of interesting. So what we're looking for constantly is just something that's continuous coming through, right? And the more you study options flow, the more you're sitting here and you can watch it. And you'll be like, I seen some of that a few minutes ago. I seen that a few minutes ago. And you can click on any symbol and see if it's got some repeats, like DAL. That's, the first one at 63. They had one at 59.50. So you can go back over here. Well, Apple, let's go click Apple and see if there's any consistency. Let's try the 320s. There's just a couple of them. Decent size, but it's also a $1 trillion company. Back to all options. So I'm just looking for a constant troll of, what's just repeating. What's repeating.
It looks like there's some chatter over there. I am out of JPM for right now. May pick it back up, but for right now, I'm out.
74, and you got out of some at 175, and what was the rest at?
Hold on, $1.60.
Not bad. Good job. I'm still yet to make a trade. Beyond, though, just keeps going. Just keeps going. Go ahead and unfilter this and go back to all for a few minutes. So let me see what 752 week has. EL, 52 week high. This earnings season is going to be fun. This is what we call our bread and butter. JPM announced this morning Maria's already got her first 100% of earnings season already.
Woo! I knew we should have picked up that 5. Gosh darn it. It didn't move too much, but it did. It hit a high of 112.
Oh, yeah, you're right. No, again, you're right. We killed that one yesterday. Just absolutely killed that yesterday. Fun.
If those 145s come back down to that 20-ish cent range, 15 to 20, I may pick some of those up.
Let's go ahead and look and see where it's at now.
They're at 20 by 21 right now. Let's see. Look, maybe we could even get lower.
Actually, if it gets down here around VWAP, it might be worth a shot.
Yeah. I've actually got VWAP, the 34, the 89, and the 200 on the 1 minute, all one right on top of the other.
So we're just looking for consistency.
Swan was in at 15, out at 31. Nice job. Bobby, yeah. Oh, nice. It's hard to trade and do a webinar at the same time. I'm already ADD as it is.
For me. Yeah, it's tough for me. Here comes the JPM 25s or 145s again. They're hitting it down.
Those are this week too, right?
This week. Nope.
I might just pick up a couple just as a YOLO.
See what other strikes are hitting.
25 cents. That's my fill.
140s. They're hitting a few of the 140s here. You're in at 25? You didn't buy that one.
Yeah, but if the 145s I'll buy, but it's super. It's a risky AF play, guys. We already made 100% on it. I'm willing to try out just a couple of contracts, super small. If I lose the $50, it's no big deal. Right? I only bought 2 contracts. If it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, it's not hurting me.
Somebody else bought $56,000 worth with you, so. And now they're buying at 27 cents coming in. HGSH stock is halted. So see, this is one of the things too. When stock's halted, we get that alert just instantly. Anything that's halted, unhalted, we're going to know about that second. Another one of the many benefits and things that people don't always use or use correctly or know that we have, right? So those are things. Hopefully, you're learning. Now, see, most active calls too. When people see most active calls, they think, "Oh man, this is bullish or something." No, this is your bullish flow over here. See, and this is your bearish flow. Most active just means calls, puts, everything, right? So bullish, this is what's got the most bullish flow right now so far. You see that JPM that we've been looking at is number 3 on that list. There's space. I tell you what, Jenny B really
I'm so mad.
nailed that one.
I looked at it then too, and I liked it. Didn't end up buying it, and I really wish I had. And she was all over it. I'm actually kind of liking DAL. Charlie, what do you think? I'm just
Go
got
look
to
at it.
34. Their conference call starts at 10, 15 minutes. Maybe we'll just wait until the conference call starts and
Yeah.
see which direction they want to go.
Facebook
Although I'm
did its
tempted.
normal dip and rip, just as usual. See if we can get another high of day here on a space. I'm seeing a couple 1750s, only 2 of them, out to January of next year. There's more JPM coming in now. It's at 28 cents again. So any questions while I'm sitting here doing absolutely nothing but watching? But
No questions yet.
I haven't made a trade yet. See how many people.
If you guys have questions, send them over.
187. Let's see what the final total tally was here. 195. 195 joined us today. Not bad.
I'm just flipping through charts to see what we might have. What's Tesla doing? Dip and rip. Repeater bullish flow alert on Facebook. This week's 225 calls. What do you like? What do you think? Facebook 225s. I like it.
They were buying those. Yesterday we grabbed the 225s for next week off some flow that came in yesterday, and we actually did okay with that. I might buy this for next week.
Kind of like it for this week.
Can you go ahead and take control of the screen real quick?
Absolutely. 1 second.
For a couple of minutes.
So you guys should be looking at my screen. I've got Facebook loaded in this bottom left-hand chart thingy. I'll make it bigger. I don't really like to buy high a day, but I like the flow. I really do like the flow there. I'm going to restore this so it gives me a better idea. So I'm going to give that one a second just to kind of see if we can get a little bit of a pullback. And let's see what Netflix is doing. Bye.
I went ahead and bought next week's at 219. Next week's 225s. I filled at 219.
I like it.
Not a ton of action, but we'll see. They're still buying some of JPM, 24 cents now.
I think I'll probably end up swinging that overnight. I'd expect some upgrades tomorrow. Maybe even just a quick pop, sell into the opening spike.
NH
But
stock
it's
no
YOLO.
longer
It's
halted.
either going to work or it's not. So please, guys, if you follow that, manage your risk appropriately. It's either going to hit or it's not. So if you're not willing to take a loss, it's not something you want to hang on to. City looks decent.
So the colors Mariano, the colors. So white. Let's just go find. Let's go back to this JPM. Maria, you gonna pass it back to me just a second?
Yeah, sure. Hold on.
Let's go ahead and go over these colors. So yeah, OI is like, let's just look at it like a bank. And let's say Maria has 500 open interest, 500 contracts that have been written, right? And I buy 100, and then Swan buys 100, and Tech Money buys 100, and Teresa buys 100. That's 400. So those would still be coming through as white. Like every time, that 100 would be white, white, white. And then let's say Jenny B buys 100. Now it's 500. OI has been met. So anything else that comes through will be purple, letting us know that, hey, um, all 500 contracts in Maria have been bought and exceeded. So, or not necessarily, may not have bought the same 500, that somebody wrote, but anyway, they have exceeded OI, so they are continuing to buy those contracts. So all of a sudden, and if you see them come through as yellow, that means somebody did it in one shot. So in other words, if somebody came through, and I don't know what OI was on this thing, let's just say it was 5,000, right? Somebody comes through and buys 5,000 in one buy, it'll be yellow if that, exceeded OI. So that's what the colors mean to us. So right here just tells me that, again, OI wasn't met. OI has now been met, and buying is continuing. Let's see. Interesting. It doesn't catch ER, so somebody's expecting Best Buy to have a little money. Not a ton of money there. And of course, I get in Facebook, and it comes right back down through all these indicators.
But I still
One of the
like it, and
reasons
I
I
really
got
like that
next
you
week.
bought next week. So I think I still like that play a lot.
So Maria, let's go ahead and pass this one back to you for a minute.
Okay. Oops, I need to send it to me. Does anyone have any chart questions that we need to go over? A lot of you should be familiar with my settings. For those that are not familiar, I do share my settings. I don't have a problem sharing my settings. So really quickly, you'll see here, I've got the TTM scalper alert. Those are these little arrows, white arrows on the chart that you see. I don't trade off of them. They typically lag 1 to 2 candles on a 1-minute chart, but if I'm already in the trade, it makes me happy to see them. So I leave it on there. I've got a 5 simple moving average, an 8, a 13, VWAP, of course. The 34 EMA, if you guys are not using the 34 EMA, I love it. And let me cancel out of this real quick so you can see this. It is great for, especially for a longer day trade. And if I make that smaller, this purplish line, that's my 34 EMA. So if you're in this and you're planning on hanging on to it or potentially swinging it, you can use that 34 as a guide. You can use it as a guide to help you stay in or get out of that trade. I use it typically as an area of support or resistance. So that 34 really, really helps smooth out your trade. Play with it. A lot of people really tend to like it if you're not using it. Let's go back over here to studies and edit. And I've got my 200 simple moving average, which is that salmon colored line. The 89 is this reddish orangish line on here. MACD 585 I use oftentimes just to confirm my trade if I'm unsure. RSI is on there, and it's only on there because it's pretty. I do not trade on RSI. I just like to see it. That's the only reason it's there, for no other reason. And that is what I use on my chart. Bobby, no, I've not traded anything after STC and JPM, not today. Enrique, you are welcome. So volume profile is actually super cool. If I could figure out a way to get it on my chart without it like killing my eyes because it gets distracting, I like to see the candles, I would definitely add it. But I really, really like that volume profile.
Yeah, volume profile is great, and the charts that we're going to be adding for dart pool actually has those levels, that dart pools have come
Oh,
through.
sweet.
That hasn't been. I don't know when that's ever going to be on there, but I know that's one of the things they've done. You were right about DAL. It just kept going as well.
Did it really? Shoot. So their conference call is going to be starting in about 5 minutes. That's the only reason I kind of held off on it. Although their earnings, I mean, the earnings was good. Actually, that's another cool thing, guys. If I want to see what happened with DAL earnings, we make it super simple and easy. So I just type DAL in the ticker there in the under the ticker in the search box. Wow, I cannot talk today. And right here we can see they reported this morning $1.70 versus $1.40, 11.4 billion versus 11.35, which is a beat and a beat. Not a super big beat on the revenue, but decent. It works. They see Q1 revenue growth 5 to 7% year over year. The consensus is 11.09 billion.
Oh, Beyond Stock is halted. Beyond
What?
Stock is halted.
Okay,
Real
let's take a
quick.
look. Oops. Oh, yucky. Why did it drop like that? Let me see if I have anything. I don't have any news
Jeez.
yet, but I'm keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, so there, we'll be able to see this unhalt. So that's sorry to interrupt you there, but I mean, no,
No,
you
no,
know,
you're good.
and that's another thing. You see, with Black Box, if you're watching JPM, you know, and beyond, that halts or something's going on, you get that halt alert. You know, so boom, you know about it, right? And that's super important if you're a trader. I need to know those things.
Absolutely.
Jeez, that was
Going back to Delta real quick, they're backing their full year 20 EPS view 675 to 775, consensus 721. That's a straddle. So I don't really expect too many surprises out of the earnings call. Should be okay, but I'd still rather wait for the call to start. There are a couple questions. Daryl, MACD. I like using MACD, that 585 setting, especially for intraday scalps, but it's super tricky. It can fake you out. You really, really have to watch it for a long time and get a good handle on how it works, how it moves before you use it. I will do, where's your thing? For those
your
of you
will
that are
button
on
just a tad.
TOS, hopefully it'll clear up. Let's see if I can send this to all. So if you are on TOS, I just sent out a link to one of my charts, and that will have everything preloaded. You can actually open that up in TOS, save it, use it, delete what you don't like, keep what you like about it. Again, what works for me might not work for you, but there are certain things on there that tend to work for everyone or tend to work out really well for everyone. So definitely if you're on TOS, take a look at that. If you're not on TOS, you can take a screenshot of my settings, studies, and edit. So I'll leave that up there for a second and then I'll scroll down so you guys can see the rest of it. And Jeffrey, yes, I'm still holding those silly X calls for fun. See what happens. Nick,
Yeah, I'd say I really bought Facebook at a shitty spot. My God. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut that. I am going to cut it just because.
I'd give it just this candle, as long as it doesn't break 221. Nick is asking for following options, dollar flows, or specific deltas you choose, delta 30s. So I actually don't even look at deltas at all in any way, shape, or form. Just don't look at them. When I'm scalping, I really just don't care. I'm going to go into a strike where I either see flow or that I think is attainable, and I'm going to play it. A lot of times it works. If you're swing trading or if you're doing more advanced strategies, if you're writing premium, selling premium, stuff like that, you may want to look at those deltas a little bit closer. Actually, a lot of the Greeks you'll want to look at closer, but for myself intraday, just because I'm in and out, I'm not really looking at much. Except for I will glance at IV, like, you know, if IV is just ridiculous on a ticker and those contracts are super juiced, I may not be willing to pay that much for them. That's just me. But even then, I mean, oftentimes I'm not really looking too closely at even the IV unless it's a swing. Hey, Lynn Trader, why is Amazon tanking? I don't know. I don't think there was any news. Let's double check.
Kang's
It looks like
put,
the market's.
yeah, Kang crushed his puts that he was swinging from
From yesterday, right?
1610 to 20, from 1610 to 2620.
Nice job.
Yeah.
I don't see any negative. Oops, why is this not? Hold on, it'll take a second. I always forget GoToWebinar slows down our systems considerably, so I'm used to like an instant type of response, and I'm having to wait, and I didn't realize it wasn't filtered.
Good toward high of day on
Amazon.
JPM.
Woohoo! So Deutsche Bank came out and says AWS changes indicate risk of further deceleration, but Bank of America upped their price target. I don't think that has anything to do with Amazon's drop. I think it's just market related. The market's pulling back slightly. Amazon up at B of A, Merrill as well. So I don't think that there's
JPM,
anything.
sorry,
Oops.
JPM is cranking.
Woohoo! I
JPM
scrolled
is
down, guys. So if you need to,
cranking.
yay! Hopefully our 145 will work out. BYND is unhalted. Okay, I'm going to close the chart settings, guys. So if you needed to take screenshots, I hope you did. Oh, come on. What's wrong with this thing? Chris, are you looking to go long? Rajesh, I did not. It should be in your on the GoToWebinar. There, if you're on the, I know on the mobile site, there's a little section at the bottom. One of those buttons is like questions or something. It should be in that tab, in that button or that tab. If you're on the website in your questions box, you should see something with a TOS link there. And Enrique, I do not use product depth tab. I just don't. I mean, you can, but I don't. Chris, Amazon, it's low risk entry. If you're going to buy it here, I would stop at low a day. Like the Qs are wanting to turn a little bit. Let's take a look at the rest of the market and see what's going on. Charlie's throwing things over there. SPY, slight turn, kind of stalling over here at the 34.
We really
And
appreciate y'all coming and hanging out today.
for sure, Apple looks like it's turned. Yeah, I mean it's a fairly low risk entry. Amazon's kind of been acting a little bit funny. If you buy up here again, you've got to be willing to let it ride down to low a day and potentially stop out there. So if you're gonna go long, cool. Just know that you have a little bit of resistance. Right here, I've got an old line at 1867.78. That's actually an old dark pool level. And you've got the 34 EMA, an old area of either support or resistance around 1870. And then you've got VWAP right above it. So you've got some areas that it's going to have to kind of work to get through. Not that it can't, it absolutely can. Just make sure that you're keeping an eye on those areas. The short link didn't work. Was anyone else able to use that TOS link in TOS to pull up my setting? And thank you, Rajesh. I'm glad that you are liking it. Dustin saying TTM. Look at, I think you're talking about the ticker. No, that's Tata Motors. TTM squeeze? TTM scalper alert?
There is a TTM squeeze.
Daryl says he wasn't able to. Why not? Let's try it again. Hold on, let me try again. Chart, share. Okay, it's copied. I'm gonna try it again, y'all. Let's see. Send to all. Okay, I put in a link there. Let me know if that one works. If you are in Discord, I'll load it so you guys can see because it might be easier for if you're in Discord with us. So if you're a member and you're in Discord, in my mod room over here, when you go in here and you click on the thumbtack, pinned messages, This is, and I actually need to update this. This is, there's a link to my settings there. The only thing this set of settings does not have is the 89 EMA, because I recently added that thanks to Pete. He really likes it, and Pete, a lot of his settings, I shouldn't say some, a lot of his settings are gold. That 34 EMA came
They
from
are.
him. This 89 is really well. The 55 I still need to add. That's also supposed to be really good. And I believe it. So if you're in Discord, you can find a link there, but hopefully, can you send it on Discord? Oh, Stocking, yeah,
Bender,
for sure.
Bender's Ultra Swing, he took out at 80%.
So Daryl, Stock King, if you go into my room, click on the little thumbtack, that link should be working. I don't know why it's not working here. If you're not in
Bullish
Discord,
MU. Go
sorry,
ahead, sorry. No.
no worries. If you're not in Discord with us and need those settings, if you will, in the questions box, type in your email address, I'll email it out to you. It might not be till after market close, but I will email it out.
So they went in the money pretty nice on that MU. It's really a no juice contract as well.
Oh,
648K
and look at that.
MU.
Oops.
They bought at the bottom too, pretty close.
You want to buy some? Or
I
you want to
mean,
wait?
I don't want to go that deep in the money.
That's true. I mean, we can adjust the strike. Nick is saying that the TOS share link worked. Awesome. Daryl, okay, I'll get you some. I'll get that sent out.
Some people are still in those 5 calls from yesterday. It looks like AJN.
Yay. Oops, I forgot that I'm still on the webinar. See what happens? Sorry.
But we can go ahead and actually go ahead and get back over to Discord and let everybody, hopefully this helps, answer any questions on how we use this.
Yeah.
Your
Let's take
robot
some
employee.
just last minute, guys. If you have any, I love GoToWebinar. If you guys have any last minute questions, go ahead and throw those out there, and then we'll get wrapped up and head back to our regularly scheduled day.
James, anytime, brother, anytime. Rajesh, anytime. Beyond drop was a blip, A1 Trader says. It's back up, nice. The MU, I mean, down there, Trisha, yeah, I don't think the MU's a bad, I mean, that far in the money, it's not a bad swing. I mean, it's a very low risk swing, I'll say that. Very low risk that far in the money. So if MU goes up $1, that'll probably go up $1. If it goes down $1, it'll probably go down $1. So it's kind of just it's that far in the money. So it's definitely lower risk at that point. Jason Swan, you rock, brother. You rock. Yeah, last minute questions. Go ahead and fire them up at us. Had a big crowd today. We appreciate you guys and gals.
We most definitely do. It's fun, right? You guys, you get a different view or a different perspective of how different traders trade. And what's great about that, especially if you know a bunch of traders, you can kind of pick and choose what you like from each person's strategy or settings, or whatever the case might be. You can always pull the things that you like and make it work for you. And I think that's, I mean, in trading, there's nothing better than being able to do that.
Jesse Bola, thank you, brother. Thank you. We appreciate you coming.
I think that's all the questions we have. Again, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. If you're in Discord, we'll see you there very shortly. For the rest of you, thank you again, and we hope to see you soon.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, let me get in one more thing. Yeah. Is the Facebook. I did cut Facebook, and I just, that was
I was about to pick
bad
it up.
entry on my part. I cut it a few minutes ago. I just, hadn't had a chance to tell them that was a bad entry. I hate buying that high above the 34 and VWAP and stuff anyway. especially on something like Facebook, because I know it's going to give me those Facebook candles. So usually, as a general rule, I like to get those under that. And real quick, eBay, we just had some sweeps on eBay, the 3650s for February 7th, which is a very odd date. Let's look at that real quick. They're buying the 3650s, decent size, all above the ask too. They're pounding them 61 cents, 66, and 70 cents. So those are going in the right direction.
Look at that chart. I've got this chart pulled up eBay in the middle, bottom. High a day, they're picking
about 200 grand. And a weird, now this does catch ER because it's January 28th. I think that flow is actually what's pushing it high day. So they dumped about 200 grand into ER. Was that also these will catch some ER juice, right? So these contracts just by default, as long as eBay just doesn't do something crazy dumb, will probably juice up a little bit anyway. So that's probably not a bad purchase, to get in and get out of before ER. So that eBay did come through, and a couple of Microsoft 165s coming through for next week. Did anybody play JPM real quick?
I know Swan played it. Bobby probably may have played it.
Nice. Good deal. All right, everybody. We can we can go get breakfast and head over to Discord.
Aaron played it. Awesome. Thanks again, guys. We appreciate it. Stay green out there, and we will see y'all later. Take care. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.